Hello, this video is the starter for Lab 9.3. In Lab 9.3, I want you to go through and create a folder for your application called Employees App. Now, we've made a Python class folder at the beginning, so you should have one of those. And the idea is just make a new subfolder in there, kind of like what I was doing with that little temporary folder. But this time it's going to be in the Python class folder. And copy the data processor, person, employees modules into that folder. You may want to actually go through at that point and make sure that it still works. You should have the test harness, so it should be pretty easy to do. So, of course, as soon as you run the little test harness file, it'll make the PyCache, and at that point, it should look pretty much like this if you've gone through and tested that the data processor works or employees and person works. Now, once you get to that stage, it's time to actually go ahead and complete the application by making a main module. Let's say you call the main module, I don't know, myapp.py. I don't know, or main, whatever you want to do. Place that new file in there, in the Employees App folder, and add any application code that you want to the file, and then test to make sure it works. You should be able to click on that application and have it run. Now, do be aware that if you've gone through and added in a first name or last name, it will work if you've taken my code here because I'm asking for the last name. If you didn't do that, you'll have to go through and add that, or you'll have to remove this part of my code where it's asking for the last name. So the tricky part of this particular lab is you've got to make all the files work together as a unit. And this is pretty common. In the industry, what happens is that, yeah, you have a whole bunch of people working on a project, and everybody goes away from the meeting thinking they've got it. But when it finally comes down to putting it all together, a lot of times you end up with these little bumps where, like, somebody forgot to put in the last name, and that should have been in there. Or you assumed there was going to be a last name, and there wasn't supposed to be, or whatever it's going to be. So just like in real life, you're going to have to synchronize everything by making sure it all lines up and works. So that's the purpose of this lab. Go ahead and see how it works. It's going to be an example that you'll repeat in real life if you start programming in Python in the future. Okay, I'll see you next in the answer video. Until then, talk to you later.